Go to chapter 17, economies and diseconomies of scale. We're talking about economies of scale. We're talking about expansion that brings about the fall in your average cost of production. That's what economies of scale is. Let's read. Economies of scale. Large firms can usually produce goods more cheaply than small firms. The size of a firm has an important effect on the average cost of production. As a firm increases its size, average cost starts to fall. This is because economies of scale and decision. This is because of economies of scale and it's shown in figure 17.1. We'll get there. When the business is producing 20,000 units of output, the average cost is $25. If it traces output to 40,000 units, average cost falls to $15. The firm could carry on expanding and lower its average cost until it's large enough to produce 70,000 units. At this level of output, the average costs are minimized to at $10. It is the ideal size because average costs are at an absolute minimum. At this level of output, the firm is efficient and waste is avoided. If the firm goes beyond 70,000 units, average cost will start to rise. For example, if the firm increases its size and produces 90,000 units, average cost will now rise in 12.5. This is because of the economies of scale, which occur because of inefficiency. So based on this graph, it is always in U-shaped. Why? Because it is based on average cost of production. So the firm can produce up until 70,000 units, according to what was said. At 70,000 units, so increasing your output above 70,000 units, more than 70,000 units, will bring about these economies of scale. So, and what is economies of scale? Economies of scale is a cost reduction as a result of increase in output. So when you increase your output from 0 to 20, your average cost fell to 25. As soon as you increase your output more to 40, the average cost fell to 15. So that's what average cost is. So it's as soon as your output increases, the average cost of your production starts from that is the unit of each product that you produce, the price on each unit, the amount of the cost on each unit will start reducing. That's what we call average cost of production. You know, the formula for average cost is total cost divided by the number of output. I think it's clear. So that is economies of scale. We have two types of economies of scale. We have internal economies of scale and we have external economies of scale. What types of economies of scale? We have internal economies of scale and external economies of scale. When we talk about internal economies of scale, this is a cost benefit that affects the business itself. That means decision of the business in terms of expanding has bring about cost benefits. So we read internal economies of scale. Internal economies of scales are the cost benefits that an individual firm can enjoy when it grows. The reasons why costs fall are summarized. So for internal economies of scale, it means the cost advantage you have because of your expansion. So what brings about your expansion? Number one. Do you get what I'm saying? If you have any question, please ask. Number one, purchasing economies. Large firms that buy lots of resources get cheaper rates. Suppliers offer discounts to firms that buy raw materials and components in bulk. This is similar to consumers buying multi-packs in supermarkets. They are better value for money. Bulk buying is a purchasing economy. In getting started above, so that's the story. We don't need the story now. So for purchasing economies of scale, it means you are enjoying a cost advantage based on the fact that you are buying bulk. You're buying large quantities. So large quantities will warrant you to have discounts. So suppliers do give discounts to those businesses that buy large quantities. So the discount you receive becomes a reduction in the price of the product. So that means your cost of production would fall based on the fact that you received the discount. Do you understand purchasing economies of scale here? A cost advantage as a result of buying in bulk. Clear? Two, marketing economies. A number of marketing economies exist. For example, it may be cost effective for a large firm to run its own delivery vehicles. For a large firm, with lots of deliveries to make, this will be cheaper than paying a distributor. Marketing economies can occur because some marketing costs, such as producing a television advert, are fixed. These costs can be spread over more units of output for a larger firm. Therefore, the average cost of advert is smaller for a large firm. As a large firm, you have different products. You have different services. So you might be paying just one for the air, you might be paying for an airspace, and which all your products will be showcased. So that means the cost of each unit would have been shared. the cost of the advert would have been shared on all your products that is being advertised. Unlike a small firm, which has only one product to advertise, you might be paying the same amount that a large firm will be paying for that same space. But the large firm has different products that it can showcase, but you have only one product. So that's a cost advantage. Do you know how it's a cost advantage now? No. I will repeat. If as a business I sell iPhone X, as a business I sell different brands of phones. You sell a brand of phone. We are competitors because we both sell phones. Because I sell different brands of phones, I could pay for the airspace for 1 hour or for 5 minutes. You're going to pay for 5 minutes airspace too to advertise yours, and I'm going to pay 5 minutes to advertise mine. We will be paying the same amount because we are using the same airspace. But I will be showcasing more products than yours. So the cost of that 5 minutes I will be paying will be spread across all the products. For yours, you don't have where to spread it on. It will be from the cost of that product you're advertising. So because you are able to spread the cost of advertisement reduces. Economies of scale, marketing economies of scale. Do you get it now? Great. That is marketing economies of scale. When your advertisement, the cost on advertisement is being able to be spread across different products that has been showcased. We have technical economies. Technical economies occur when, because larger factories are often more efficient than smaller ones. There can be more specialization and more investment in machinery. So, for technical economies of scale, it's a cost advantage you have as a firm or as a business because you are able to buy or purchase equipment, machinery that would allow your cost of production to fall based on the fact that you will not be wasting resources. You get it? Because you have the financial capability to buy large equipment that you will use to increase your output. That will bring about a fall in your average cost of production. Unlike a small business, which doesn't have the financial capability to be capital intensive, it will be able to enjoy such economies of scale. Is technical clear? Yes. Financial economies. Large firms can get access to money more cheaply. They also have a wider variety of sources to choose from. For example, a large limited company can raise money by selling shares. This option is not available to a sole trader. Large firms can put pressure on banks when negotiating the price of loans. Banks are often happier lending large amounts to large companies at lower interest rates. So, the rest are story. You don't need that. So, financial economies of scale. As a large firm, financial institutions, banks, they will consider to loan you money. They will consider to give you money, to borrow you, because they see you as low risk. Unlike a small business, they don't see it that way. They don't want to give small businesses money because they feel they might not be able to pay back. But a large business is a successful business, yes or no? So because you are successful, people, businesses, banks, investors, they want to get attached to you. They want to have a relationship with you. So you'll be able to get loans at even a cheaper rate of interest. That's the first one. The second one is that as a large firm, you have different accessibility to loan to source of finance. You could sell your shares. You could get loans from friends. You could get it in any way. But small businesses do not have the same accessibility as yours. The access they have is not as open as a large business. So because you are able to exploit different ways or methods of sourcing for finance, that is financial economies. You get it? You can get a loan at a cheaper rate. You can source for finance in different ways. And it will be sure, it's certain that you're going to get it. This is what we call financial economies of scale. Is it clear? Managerial economies. As firm expands, they can afford specialist managers. A small business may employ a general manager responsible for finance, human resources, marketing, and production. The manager will find this role demanding and will be weak in some areas of the job. A large firm can employ specialists, and as a result, efficiency is likely to improve the average cost of efficiency is likely to improve while the average cost of production will fall. As a large firm, you can attract specialist managers. Not only specialist managers, you can attract specialists. You can attract the best skilled workers. You can attract the best skilled managers. Why? Because you are big, you're large. And as a result of you being able to attract skilled workers, skilled managers, specialists, it brings about efficiency. And if there's efficiency, your average cost of production would fall. That is what we call managerial economies of scale. Being able to attract the better manager, a better manager is skilled, a specialist, because of how big you are becoming. Right. For risk bearing, as a large firm, okay, let me read for them. Larger firms may more likely to have wider product ranges and sell into wider varieties of market. This reduces the risk in business. Get the point. Risk bearing economies means you are spreading your risk, you are diversifying. As a large business, you can dabble into different business. You can go into different operations. A small business can't do that because there's no resources to do that. Resources for small businesses are limited. Unlike a large business will have the ability to do different business, to do different deals. That is diversification. So being able to diversify means that you are spreading your risk. You are not putting all your eggs in the basket. Is it clear? Any question about it? No. We'll go to external economies of scale. For external economies of scale, it implies that as the industry becomes larger, the firms in the industry start witnessing reduction in their average cost of production. Do you get it? The first one is as a firm becomes large, it starts witnessing reduction in average cost. Yeah. That is internal. Yeah. For external, it means as it becomes larger, as the industry itself becomes larger, firms in the industry start witnessing economies of scale. You get it now or not? Yeah. So that's for external economies of scale. They said sometimes all firms in our industry can enjoy falling average costs as the whole industry grows. This is called external economies of scale. So it comes as a result of the industry itself becoming bigger, expanding. So firms, an industry is a combination of firms. Firms make up an industry. So as these industries start expanding, the firms in that industry start witnessing reduction in their average cost of production. That is external economies of scale. So how does this happen? The first one, skilled labor. Yeah. Yeah. External. Laws. Yeah, external kind of skilled labor. Oh. No. Skilled labor. If an industry is concentrated in one area, there may be a build-up of labor with the skills and work experience required by that industry. As a result, training costs will be lower when workers are recruited. It is also likely that local schools and colleges will provide vocational courses that are required by local industry. So the first thing you encounter, is there anything? Vocational. Where? Last line. Vocation. Yeah, these are not related to skills, crafts. Oh. Okay. So as you expand, as the industry expands, the first thing that it will bring is skilled workers. When we talk about skilled workers, we're talking about workers that are needed in that industry. So because for example, the educational industry is expanding in Libya. So because the educational industry is expanding in Libya, a lot of teachers are available. There's spots for teachers to come teach. Yes, because the industry is becoming bigger. So a lot of teachers are coming in, a lot of teachers are available, and this reduces the cost of training. So schools can come together to train these teachers together. Schools, different centers can come up with different programs to train teachers. Unlike when it was just few schools, the cost was much. Do you understand? So the cost of employing workers becomes less than if the industry was not large. Because if the industry is large, a lot of people would trip in for that reason to become a teacher. So you don't even have to spend before you get there. The supply of labor would increase. Do you get it? Because the industry needs them. So, and they understand that they can also exploit through the industry. Do you understand? So that's for skilled labor. That means as soon as the industry becomes bigger, workers that are needed for that industry would make themselves available. Is it clear? Two, infrastructure. For infrastructure, if a particular industry dominates a region, the road, railway, port, building, and other facilities will be shaped to suit that industry needs. So, I'm going to continue to use the educational industry because that is what is closer to us here. Look at the educational industry. It's continuing to increase, yes or no, expand. Different schools have, these days, there are police around, they are making sure the roads are expanded. Why are they doing all these things? To make it easier for school children, school buses to move free and flow. So because the industry is becoming bigger, the needs of infrastructure is important. So infrastructure becomes something that is available. So it's not going to be done by the firms in that, the schools anymore. The government will do it. Everybody will do it because it makes life easier. And it makes the industry to continue to grow because the industry will contribute to the growth of the economy. That is infrastructure. Is it clear? The third one, access to suppliers. An established industry in a region will encourage suppliers in that industry to set up close by. Specialist marketing, cleaning, banking, waste disposal, distribution, maintenance, and component suppliers are likely to be attracted to the area. All firms in the industry will benefit from their services. So, access to suppliers. Look at how it works here. Before now, this education industry is not bigger. It's not big as it is now. Then there was only Cambridge. There wasn't Edexcel, Oxford, and these things. But now we have different school curriculums now. Yes or no? Yes. Why? Because the industry is becoming bigger.
It happened in a decade, not even that long.
Do you get it? So supplies for education or supplies for examination increases. We have different choices to make. That's the first thing. Look at the bookshops that we have these days, unlike before then. So now there are different suppliers. You could get your book anywhere. You could have access to getting your book wherever you want to get it. It's because the industry is becoming bigger. So firms, other businesses that needs to deal with that industry will find it profitable for them. Unlike when it's just like 3 or 4 schools in the whole of the country. Schools, businesses that need to supply materials, resources, will not find it attractive. Do you get the point there? That's the third one. The fourth one, similar businesses in the area. When firms in the same industry are located close to each other, they're likely to cooperate with each other so that they can all gain. Here we could talk about they could spend on research and development. All the schools, they do meetings.
Yeah.
As a result of their meeting, they were able to come up with the Ministry of Education examination, which is a gain for them. So schools can come together for their own benefits. Unlike if is just one school available, what can it do? Do you get the point? So these are the reasons why we have external economies of scale, and because of external economies of scale. Is it clear? So go to these economies of scale. For these economies of scale, this implies that this is a result of expansion that brings about increase in cost of production, average cost of production. So you are expanding.
So it's the rising average.
The opposite of economies of scale.
Yes, it's rising.
Yeah, you are expanding, and it is expected of your cost of production to fall, but it increases. That is these economies of scale. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So what are the reasons for these economies of scale? Number one, bureaucracy. When we talk about bureaucracy, businesses become that the industry, businesses or government becomes too big that decision taking becomes so. It takes time to take decision. A lot of paperwork, a lot of offices, a lot of administrative stories that make decisions to become to make decisions to be so slow. So that is bureaucracy. I'm going to put you there because I know you. He's going to be there not because he knows the job or not because she knows the job, but because he knows the person in charge of the country. So this will make decision taking or making to be slow because you don't know what to do. You don't know how the office works. So this takes time. That's bureaucracy. It brings about these economies of scale. The second one, communication problems. As businesses become bigger, there's need for information to be able
Yeah.
to spread around. But if you are unable, as a result of being big, you are unable to pass information around, workers will be affected. Decision making will be affected. A lot of things will be affected. Then, before you know it, your average cost of production will start increasing. Do you get communication there? Do you get it, please?
Yes.
Lack of control. This is about coordination. You know, as businesses become bigger, they are not going to be the same structure as it used to be. So if, you know, when you become bigger, it might mean that you need more departments. You understand? Or managers or supervisors. If you are unable to coordinate them, then the operations will fall. There will be inefficiency. And if there's inefficiency, cost of production would increase. Do you understand coordination, the lack of control? Distance between senior staff and shop floor workers. Workers being remote to their managers. Before now, this is our office. This is our company. We're just two. And we have our manager. Now the business suddenly become bigger. We are like 15. Our manager won't be here anymore. And we don't even see him or her anymore. So we are remote. Yeah, so they are remote. The workers, the floor workers are so remote to their managers. So they feel demotivated. They feel not valued anymore. Their voice is not being heard anymore. So this demotivates them and brings about lower productivity and inefficiency. This increases the average cost of production. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
Any question about it?
No.
So we scroll down. Oh, the case study. Right?
Yeah.
All right, the first question says, employing a specialist cost accountant in a growing business is an example of which type of economy?
Well, a specialist course.
A specialist cost accountant in a growing business is an example of which type of economy?
Managerial.
Managerial economy, yes. It said internal economies of scale affect costs. How?
Um, um, Rising average cost.
No.
Falling.
Falling average cost.
Yeah.
I think it's clear. That ends economies and diseconomies of scale.
No, it was average cost. Yeah.